Hey. Hi.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Great. Is anyone interested to show your face? Get on the cam today? Sunday mode? Okay, there are some
Hi,
people.
Shri.
Nishant, good to see
No,
you.
no, no. Actually, this is what I'm just sharing. This is
Uh,
Mahesh.
Mahesh, okay.
This is my son's login, I think. Hold on.
This is the one thing with YouTube or with Zoom, right? Sometimes you have a name of someone in your family.
Hmm.
All right, good. Good to see you all. Thanks for being here. And today we're going to talk more about PMP and PMI ACP. Before you go there, just a check with you. How is it going with your preparation? Is anyone getting close to the exam?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Shriram, before everyone. So maybe I'll tell you briefly about me. I'm October 23 best student. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I had
Mm-hmm.
taken only two classes. After that, I got, I changed my job to a startup. So it was very hectic. So
Mm.
I couldn't. So I could fathom the courage. And again, I started last year, Jan
Mm.
24. Again,
Okay.
then because of very hectic schedule and all, I had once talked to Rahul. I have taken the printout of this book also, so complete. I
Correct.
have read this book once, then I have seen the videos. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Even the Agile practice book. Now I have seen the calendar. I am marking like the Diwali, not Diwali, the Holy Week. I think 19th Feb something. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm targeting to complete that week. So need your guidance. So
Nice.
that's why I've attended this session and the guidance and motivation. Basically, I need to break through this PMP
Mm-hmm.
so that I can focus on the next exam, CSM.
Good.
Yeah,
First, welcome
that's
back. Good to see you back again. I understand that most of the people who come for this certification come with a tight schedule.
mm,
Because they're already performing something good in their organization. They want to scale up, which means definitely there's a tight schedule. Check with you is when you say you read the book already, have you started practicing any questions?
no, no, not it. I have to
Ah,
start.
okay, that's a good point to start. Reading is nice. One problem with the reading is we don't come to a conclusion, I learned it. Because
Hmm.
the subject is so vast, content is not so much like a chemistry or a physics with a theorem.
Hmm.
And you read two times a theorem, two times I read a formula. My brain says that's it. That's it, nothing more to read. Whereas in management, someone says a stakeholder, you read it. Another day you read a stakeholder, it was a different feel. Every time you read, it gives a different meaning and different feel, like you listen a romantic song in your college days. Right? The song is different, right? When you say first girlfriend, first boyfriend, it's a different. See, first boyfriend, first, oh yeah, it's a school, college, that's how it is, right? So every time it's a different. The management problem is like you keep reading, it keep going. So answering you and everyone listening here, exam practicing is one of the way to determine is my understanding go well with what I read. So coming back to Mahesh to you, since you read the book very well, in ShriLearning portal we have a 40 questions question paper,
Hmm.
60 questions question paper, 180 questions question paper. What I will do if in your place is I will first start with 40 questions. I will set myself a timer of maybe 1 hour, 60 minutes, and see if I can answer this 40 questions.
Hmm.
In a 40 question exam, if I score 50% or 65%, I will go back and see what happened to those 40 questions one by one. I don't miss any question. I'll go all the question because it will consume me 3 to 4 hours of time. But analysis will help me to understand, am I really reading the question in the right way? Am I really
Hmm.
answering it properly? I will understand this. If I
Hmm.
do this few times, I get the confidence and slowly improve the gray areas also. So answering you, uh, keep up this momentum, go for it. Then I'll add one more question top of it. What is your exam date in your mind when you want to go for exam?
Yeah, just hold on. I have to see the calendar. The week
Okay.
of Holi it is. Hold on.
Okay, week of Holi, you're going to do that. Okay.
Hold on.
Uh,
Holi is
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I listen to Mahesh
Sunday.
and come
Sunday,
back.
March 16 should be good because Friday I have
March
a
16th.
holiday. So three
Fantastic. Next
days.
month. Next month. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So you should have with you 45 days. If
Correct.
45 or 50 days you have with you.
Correct.
I would put a reverse order of planning. I'll mark March 16th. March 16th, I'll come back till February 3. I will see from March 16 to February 3 how many weekends are with me, which means Saturday, Sunday. How many holidays, public holidays are with me. How many crucial office meetings are there with me? I should be, I'm a project manager, right? I should know how to plan myself. I should not be too much optimistic. I will read every day. That's bad. I have to put that in a week of 7 days. I will read 3 days or 4 days. If I'm reading for 3 or 4 days, how many hours I can spend? So I will do a reverse order calculation. I'll give a reasonable time for my office work. I will give a reasonable time for my family work. I will give a reasonable time for reading. I'll put a proportion. I'll put a pie chart. In the pie chart, I'll mark 35% goes to office, maybe 20% goes here, and 20% goes here. In this, how can we be efficient? If I learn it, if I sit for 1 hour or 2 hour, I give my full attention towards it. And if you can put a plan like that, I believe you go very structured, the pressure starts reducing. Yeah, got it?
Yeah, got
All
it.
right, good. Stay in touch with me in the WhatsApp also so that I can give you some suggestions what to do.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, be there. Okay, good, Magesh. Good back. Welcome back.
Awesome.
I heard one more voice. Utraksha, right? I should pronounce it like that. Maybe your mic is not working, I believe. I can see you speaking, but I can't hear you. No, unplug the wire from your.
Can you hear me now?
Now it works. Usually, when you unplug, it will start working.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, go
So
ahead.
actually, I was planning to give the exam in this like last week or maybe first week of March, and
Very good.
I've given full mock exams, but with
Ah,
each mock my score is declining. Like in first, I got like around 72%. In
hmm,
second, I got 71, and in
hmm.
third, I got 68%. I don't know.
Okay.
Like, should I go for the exam or what should I do? Like, why is it declining?
No, your average is good. The declining could be for two reasons. One is when you read more, your brain starts thinking more. First day exam, you will answer quicker. Second day exam on, your brain starts thinking more. When you think more, also sometimes goes wrong. It's completely fine. But your scores are not so declining. Your scores are on the right stage. Your average is good. Your consistency is between 68 to 72%. It's a really good score to go for main exam. I even say that in ShriLearning, somebody get to 63, 65, 68. That's a range if you get. Still, you can write your main exam because we kept the question paper level bit tough there. If somebody is crossing 70, which is a really good score. Okay. Now, question to you, second question is, how is your time management in these exams?
Actually, it's good. Like 10 minutes are remaining. I'm finishing 10 minutes earlier and I can like finish more quickly, but then I take my time to read questions again since I had completed like
Okay,
kind
10
of
minutes.
20 minutes earlier.
Very good. Let me ask another question. In ShriLearning portal, we give 230 minutes plus 20 minutes break. So, have you consumed, did you use your break?
Yes, I take all my 10 minutes break, both.
Two times 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Yes.
Ah, then I would say you are on a right form to go for exam. March first week looks a very good date. In fact, you can close even before March. That's a range where you are right now. But still, if you have a plan already for March first week, please go for it. That's a good date. In between this a timeline, you will take another two more full exams practicing, and you will practice a couple of more 60 questions. 60 question is a short tablet. You just take it and you will see, can I do in 90 minutes this exam? If I do in 90 minutes or 80 minutes, what is my performance level here? Am I staying in 70, 72%? Am I able to solve the questions? If I'm not solving the questions, what's the problem there? You will take few minutes to analyze this. So the next few days, let us follow with the two full exams and at least two, three short exams. On top of that, I'll give some bullet points, what all you have to read in the coming days.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Which city you are?
I'm in Pune, India.
Pune. I
So
believe you
I
have one
was,
center.
no, actually, I have two centers near
Two
my
center.
home. I
Okay,
checked,
very
and
good.
it's like only 10-15 minutes drive. So,
Very good. That's clear. Some centers are busy, so watch out. Seat availability. If you have particular date in mind, I would say go ahead and start blocking. If you're not paid your exam fee, before paying, stay in touch with Rahul. He may know some discounts happening in PMI if it exists. So he can help you on the discounts detail. So don't pay the money before you talk to Rahul. So talk to Rahul before you pay the money.
yeah, actually, I paid and I talked to Rahul as well for that.
Very good. You did all the criteria. Very good. Then you're good to go. I would say proceed. And are we in touch in WhatsApp by any chance?
No, not with you
No.
personally.
Okay. So give me the Excel sheet of what is your scores in the WhatsApp and keep me posted on your progress so that I can give you some more points for the preparation.
Okay, sure. Thank
You're
you.
good. You're good. Don't need to worry. You're good. You're good to go for exam.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Great.
Hi,
All right.
Shri.
Oh, yeah. Who is going to talk to me?
I'm Shantalakshmi, Shri.
Santa Lakshmi. Where are you? You're here. Yes, Santa Lakshmi. Please go ahead.
Shri, I've booked my exam on Feb 24th.
Okay.
It is
Okay.
already, I have booked it and
Hmm.
taken two full exams, mock 1 and mock 2. My scores are both are same. It is 69% in mock 1, mock 2 also same 69%. I
Hmm.
had in between
Did you have a doubt when you see 2 times same number? Did I take the exam? Okay. Okay.
actually, I had a 1 week gap between the
Hmm.
one and mock two. Means I
Hmm.
started a week before only of starting the mock exams. Before that, I was practicing 60 questions. But when you look at in my 60 questions, 40 questions, my score were 74 to 75%.
Hmm. Hmm.
So when I go to this mark of 180 full exam, I
Hmm.
got 69 first time. So I analyzed completely
Hmm.
where I went wrong, all those things. I understood that if you take my first 60 questions, my score was 78%. If
Hmm.
I take the next 60 questions, my score was 16, 6%. And
Hmm.
last 60 is where my scores are less, which is like averaging out, it is coming to 69%. So
Hmm.
second time I thought, okay, maybe I'm losing the focus. But I'm taking the breaks also. If you
Hmm.
ask time management wise, it is good. I'm not say, I mean, I could be able to finish first 60 in 155 minutes. I kept the target. So
Hmm.
155 I should close so that I'm at least maintaining. Only thing is in the second mock, what I felt, too many calculation questions, around 12 questions I've got. And
Ah,
all the 12 was like again and again, I'm just, even if I,
time.
even if I take the
Hmm.
answer, again, I just want to recalculate and check. So where
I understand. I understand. Yeah, that's something which we are also working out because, yeah, your point is right. You will not get 12 questions in main exam. You'll get to 1 or 2 questions. So we have a big question bank and it shuffles. Some people are lucky and you get more questions. Some people are unlucky, get less questions. So coming back here, I would say you can consider those 12 questions, out of which could be some of them are theoretical questions where you would have got a better answer. Coming back to your topic, scores are very consistent for you. You didn't go too high, you didn't go too low. You are in the right range towards exam. I said few minutes back, 63, 65, 68. These are the range people go for the main exam. There are many reasons score fluctuate. Sometimes I see that people are exhausted when you take 4 hours exam. First 1 hour, 1.5 hours, they were okay. After 1.5 hours, they lose the patience. They start clicking the button. See, if you go by Indian movies, there are days in India people used to sit and watch a 3 hours movie, even the story is pathetic. Nowadays, people can't watch more than 20 minutes of a movie. People are walking out of the place, which means our patience level, our things are changing. Which means if you want to sit and write 4 hours of exam, it needs a lot of patience. And that is the reason they give a break every 60 questions. So after 180 questions or I'm sorry, after 100 questions, I see people score starts dropping. They make a lot of mistakes. It is very common in a practice exam. When they go to main exam, the tone totally changes because they know that they paid a huge money, because they know that they don't want to fail, they'll be very conscious in the main exam. So your score, if you score 65, 68 here, you can add another 4 or 6% in the main exam above than this because your consciousness will be very high. So I would say that your range is really good. If you are planning somewhere in the February, you are ready to go for exam.
yes.
However, it is, you said 2 full exams you did. I will recommend complete another 3 more full exams for 2 reasons. One is for time management. You have to do that. The second one is about there could be some gray areas you are yet to learn. Only when you take these full exams, you start identifying the gray areas. When you say gray areas, for example, there could be area in vendor management. They talk about make or buy analysis. They will talk about something on source selection criteria. You would have read, you know what is source selection criteria? You know what is make or buy, but in a question format, your brain still don't digest it. So you have to note it down. Go to the book like Rita 11th edition or Pimbox 6th or 7th, or in Google also. You have to put and read it. In fact, you can also use Infinity. Infinity is a AI tool introduced by PMI. Are you aware of the tool called Infinity?
No,
Okay.
Shri.
Okay. If you are a paid member already, I believe you have access.
Yes.
There is Infinity inside the PMI.org. Just a search for Infinity in PMI.
Okay.
This artificial intelligence tool, let's not call it a tool. Okay. Nowadays, everything called AI. They add AI. A tool which is really helping us. If I have a doubt about a make or buy analysis, how to use it, I can give a couple of questions, and this tool is returning me back different scenarios. When I read those scenarios and concepts, next time when I go for the answers, I may be a better person. So
Yeah.
since you have 2, 3 weeks time with you, take 3 more full exams and
Okay.
use these tools to learn more better.
Sure, Shri. I'll do
Yeah,
that.
do that.
Okay.
And if we are not in touch in WhatsApp, I would recommend you to give me a sheet. What is your scores? What is your time?
Sure, Shri. I'll do it.
Yeah, right. Fantastic. Keep the momentum. You are on a good stage.
Sure. Thank you, Shri.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, then let's get to Supriya. Hey, Supriya.
Hi, Shri. So,
Hey.
Shri, I have my exam on 11th of February.
Very
So,
good.
yeah. So actually, I am a little confused because when I'm reading, I was reading that exam document of ShriLearning, the downloaded study material from the download student
Your
material.
voice is dropping.
Hello.
Is
Yeah, can you hear
is
me
your
now?
mic clear? Yeah, good. Go ahead.
Yes. So I just wanted to understand that during the main exam, how to break out for the break. Like for after every 60 minutes, we should break out 5
No,
10
no,
minutes for
no.
the break. Then,
Not every 60 minutes. Just a sec.
okay.
I'll show you how to do this.
Yeah.
Just a sec. You want to know primarily how the exam works, right?
Yes.
Uh, we should have discussed in the class. I'll once more put it for you. Are you seeing the screen, what I'm sharing?
Yes.
You got it, right? Okay. So your exam, I believe you are clearly aware, having 11th of February. Did you book your exam already?
Yes.
You booked it. Okay. Which city you are?
Mumbai.
Mumbai. Okay. So now, totally 180 questions, and this question goes by 230 minutes. Okay. This is it, questions and minutes. And your exam is divided like this. They'll give 60 questions in the first slot. What do you mean by first slot, Sri? Your question starts number 1, and you can travel up to 60th questions. In this, between 60 questions, you can mark some question for review. What did it mean by review? What does it mean by review?
You have to flag some questions if you have
You want to come back.
yeah.
Yeah, you can come back. For example, question number 4. You answered it, but you're not clear. You want to come back. You can flag that question. In ShriLearning portal also, we have flagging option. Same you see in the PMI review. I can play between 1 and 60 question. I can do this. There is no time limit given to you. PMI does not give any time limit. They'll only give 230 minutes. How does it work is in your screen you will see 230, and then in few minutes it starts reducing. It will become 228 and it will become 220. It starts going down. It starts going down. You have to only see how much it's going down. PMI don't restrict anything on this. They don't say anything. They just give you 60 questions. It's up to you and me to decide when to stop and the 60 question. Your exam break is not based on the time. Your exam break is based on the question. If I come to 60th question, I want to click next and I want to go to 61st question because the next slot is 160 to 120. This is the next slot. Now, what PMI or Pearson will do is at this point, they'll ask you, would you like to go for a break? They'll ask you yes or no option. Would you like to go for a break? Which means when I come to 60th question, when I move to 61st question, the break happens. So answering you, Supriya, your ask in exam, your break is not based on the time. Your break is based on the question. At what time you come to 60th question is up to you. You can come 60th question in 60 minutes. You can come to 60th question in 80 minutes. Up to this, you are following, Supriya?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I believe you did this practice when you're doing in ShriLearning. How many full
Yes.
exams you took in ShriLearning?
So I took total 3.
3. When you
Yeah.
come to 60th question, do you take a break in ShriLearning?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And what a timeline you're coming to 60th question. First to 60 question, how much time you consume on average?
Around 1 hour for 60 questions, not more than
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Your mic is not clear. I'm trying to understand.
Yes.
So now it goes by 60 to 120. The next goes by 121 to 180 questions. So every 60 question you get a break. So you get a break of a 10 minutes here. It's in the center-based exam.
Okay.
Same for a 10 minutes break here. When you're taking exam at your home, still you can take a break. You're allowed to take a break. Only difference here is if you are in a center-based exam, in some centers, not all the place, even if I want to take a break somewhere here, let's imagine 150 question, but I feel tired and exhausted. I want to take a break.
Yeah.
I can put my hands up and the invigilator will come and ask you what do you want. I say I want to go for a break. And then they lock your computer and you can go for the break. But
Okay.
only difference here is this a 10 minutes break is a free of cost, which is given by PMI. In
Okay.
case I take a 7 minutes break here, this
Yeah.
is on my expense, which
Mm-hmm.
means the timer is still running.
Okay.
When I
Okay.
go for a 10 minutes break, the timer will freeze.
Okay.
It
Mm.
will freeze, which means the main clock will freeze and there will be a 10 minutes timer will run here. Okay, repeating again, when you take the official break given by PMI, it is not your expense. It's completely fine. But if you take in between some break, that's your expense. However, keep in mind, in some continent or some country, they don't allow these breaks. In some
Okay.
continent, some country, they allow. For example, US or Europe, in some places, when you raise your hand, they allow you a break. But some places in Asia, what I found is they don't allow you a break. They say that you have to use only official break. So when you go to the center, you can check with them before the exam starts. Hey, buddy, we have 2 breaks. Beyond this, can I take a break? If they say yes, then you can go for it.
Okay.
Hope that clarifies you.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
All right. Now let's come back to your preparation part. Having 10 days with you, I know we are in chat and WhatsApp.
Yes.
I could see your proportion is getting better. But this exam, as I observe your chat messages, there is always a fear of exam.
Yes.
Right? It's there. The fear of exam will be there.
Yes.
Fear of exam will be there with you even middle of the exam. So you cannot tell that I'm totally prepared. I'm super confident. That will not happen. Still, it will be there. I have given you some bullet points to prepare. You
Yes.
will spend time to read those bullet points.
Yes.
I would expect you to practice a couple of more full exams in a calm, composed mode. What I mean by that is, don't do these full exams when you are exhausted, which means I would have read the book for 7 hours in my home. If I'm in a holiday, from morning 7 hours I read the book. I'm already tired. On top of that, maybe late evening, late night, I will start my exam. So already tired. Again, I sit for late night. I'll start by 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in 9 p.m. And it will go up to 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. What will happen is the performance starts dropping. How I prepared for the exam is my exam was planned for 8 a.m. slot. So every time when I take a full exam, I will keep 8 a.m. as my time. I lock myself in the room, no mobile, nothing. I will sit 8 o'clock. I'll close my exam 12 o'clock. What I made is I made my biological clock, my mindset align with the timeline of my main exam, with which I got practiced exactly with my main exam. If you prefer that way of approach, that can also be good, which means my family members know that I'm taking practice exam. I dress properly, I sit properly in a chair, I take an exam as if a real exam. And this is called simulation. If I'm sitting in a couch, putting my laptop like this, app password, taking phone call, kid is calling, I have a cooker sound, those all not going to help us because this exam is a knowledge exam and this is a US model exam. It's not an academic in a normal university. It's a top level exam. So we have to give a respect for the exam and sit properly and do it. If I do that, chances are scores could improve. I'm not saying it will improve. Chances are high. So that's a recommendation not only for you, anyone who listen to this.
Yes.
Yeah, that helps you.
Yes.
All right, good. So Supriya, stay in touch. I know you're on WhatsApp with me. Keep up the
Yes.
Excel sheet updating what you're doing with the scores.
Yes. Definitely.
Very good. Good. Anyone with here PMI ACP? You're going for Agile Certified Practitioner. We have ACP as a certification, that too as an exam, 120 questions exam. Okay, good. Any other questions related to subject before I go for the questions sharing?
Shri, I have put in a chat. I
Uh,
read somewhere. So is the fee? I believe must have increased because of the forex. Okay, and also is there a change in syllables? I read somewhere that the syllables is getting changed. Something.
Okay. Related to fee and exam detail, I recommend you to start the conversation with Rahul. Are you
Rahul.
in
Okay.
any WhatsApp group? Are you in any WhatsApp group?
I'm in one WhatsApp group. Hold on.
Very good. Go to the WhatsApp group top. You'll be a group admin. In group admin, you will see Rahul number. So
Okay.
message Rahul. Rahul will give you details about the exam fee, how to do all this process. So take help from
Okay.
there. Okay, well, that's one.
Okay.
Coming to syllabus, this year there could be change in syllabus. However, PMI has not announced any date. How this
Okay.
prediction comes up is every 4 years or every 5 years, PMI upgrade their system.
Hmm.
So already we are due of a 4 years. 4 years crossed. 2021 beginning, I think we had the new syllabus. Now we are in 2025. It is the right time PMI has to upgrade it.
Hmm.
There is an indication for that. The indication is PMI is coming with a new book called PIMBOK 8th edition.
Okay.
Currently, we have a 7th edition. 8th edition is in the review mode right now, which will be officially launched maybe in 1 or 2 months of time. Once this book comes in, within next 2 3 months, they will start sharing the new exam content outline. So there is no announcement, but my prediction is it could take another 4 to 5 months or 6 months. We may start getting announcements of a new syllabus coming in. So for now, for your preparation, there is nothing to worry. You can start progressing in the way where you are.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Perfect. Right. Good. All right. That's sounds here. And do I have anyone new here who started a PMP journey recently?
Hi, Sri. Yeah, I'm
Diljit.
here. Diljit.
Newly. Okay. New
Yeah,
batch.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Very good. Very good. How is your reading progress?
Actually, not much. Still, I'm getting trying to get
Okay.
time.
How many pages you are able to read in the last few days?
Actually, I just printed the books last week only. Actually, I missed day 1 and 2
Okay.
classes also. I just want to know how to,
Yeah.
start the preparation. So I thought I'll get an idea from this Q&A session.
Perfectly. Perfectly. Any newcomer, it will take little time because it is not something like a swimming, right? Let's learn swimming. Okay, take off your dress, jump inside the water. That's fine. That's fine. But PMP can't learn like that. You sit with your book, that is the time your parents will call you. You sit with the book, that's time your spouse will tell, please go and buy this in the market, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
when, when you sit with the book, that's the time you remember, oh, there is an office email I have to reply. So, reading is not something like jumping and swimming in the water. It's going to take some time. And this is one of the reason I've given some writing habits, drawing and writing.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
That's a good start point. When you draw and write something, you get a habit, is consistency of reading something every day. However, coming back to the point, two things you can do. Luckily, this batch or going batch, we have audio book available. For the book, you have an
Yeah,
audio book. You can listen to
yeah,
that, number one way.
yeah. Mm.
Number two is in ShriLearning classes, the class which is happening, we are giving a MP3. The class is given as a MP3.
Yeah.
So you can put that also to listen the flow of the content. You listen the
Mm-hmm.
flow of the content in the class and you get the examples when we discuss in the class. I believe you listen to examples we discuss in the class.
Yes,
So
yes.
you get those examples and you listen to the MP3 of the class. You listen to the audiobook of what you have with you, right? Two things you do.
Mm-hmm.
On top of this, now you start practicing some questions. We have some questions in the portal, like a chapter
Mm-hmm.
question or a small
Yeah.
questions. Keep solving those questions. You will not do excellent in the beginning days. Your scores will
Okay.
be very pathetic.
Mm.
You imagine you take a 10 questions question paper, you will get a 3, sometimes you will get 7. That's how it will be.
Mm-hmm.
But the key here is not about the number of questions solved. Key here is how many questions I understood. There you have to spend time in the very beginning stage. In the beginning stage, don't worry about the score. Don't worry about the time management. Today, you would have observed I spoken with some people about time management.
Yeah.
Right? That I will not talk to you when somebody newly starts because you are very new. It's unfair to expect you to be super fast. Not needed. Initially, first understand the subject. Understand question reading ability. Speed will increase. This is something like a car driving. When I went for the car driving, I'm not focused on the speed. Thankfully, I had a good coach who helped me. He was instructing me how to look at the gearbox, how to look at the mirror. Don't think of speed. Think of only the details in the car. When I understood the details of the car, today I can even drive whatever speed I want, which means the details are more important. So initial days, spend more time on the details of the content, then we can increase the speed. Hope you got that. Yeah, very good, very good. All right, good. Shall we go for a question? I have a question to share. How this Sunday prayer works? We talk about preparation. Yeah, 20 minutes went on that. And now what I do is I'll bring up a couple of questions. And this question you will read and you will work how to solve this question. You look out for the answers and solve it. And when you solve this question, I will ask for the justification why you think is the right answer. And we will discuss that question. That's a one way of learning. Yeah, let's do that. Meantime, quickly, I'm seeing chat message. Mahesh, you have to get in touch with Rahul. I think you may not have more information since you're out of touch for a while. So stay in touch with Rahul. You'll get more information. Yeah, good to see you are come back after a long time. Okay, now before I go for the question, I have something to ask. How many of you are aware of Code of Ethics of PMI? Code of Ethics of PMI. Have you heard about Code of Ethics? Now, first question to you, do we need ethics in project management?
Yes.
Look at this screen. Let know any of this one really you feel important for a manager. As a project manager, when I have a power with me to handle a project, should I follow any of this ethics? You think so?
All we should follow, Shri. Yes.
All are important. But why should we do this? Because there is a sponsor who is giving funding and I'm a manager going to execute the project. Why I should be careful of this ethical behavior? Why?
Conflict,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully better process.
Having
Do
good relationship.
relationship, okay. Do anyone think with the power comes responsibility?
Yes.
With the power it comes responsibility. Now, many of us may be thinking, I'm a project manager. Okay, I'm going to the office. Someone says what to do, I'm doing. If you think in this order, okay, that is the way we work. However, it is a project is a something, a change in the society, a change in the country, a change in the world, which means you're taking a something from A to the place called B. This whole change is called a project. You may be coming with a new bridge which was not there. You're taking the city from A to B. You're coming with a new COVID medicine. The medicine was not there. A new project from A to B. You're coming with a new system for hospital or healthcare. You are taking something from A to B, which means you have the potential, you have the power to change something in the society. Forget for a while about your Excel sheet, Microsoft project, Jira board, Scrum meeting. Just forget all those nitty gritty things. Think as a whole, you as a project manager who has a high responsibility, high power to change something from state A to state B, which means you can do positive things in the world. You can also do negative things in the world in the name of project. Do you think it's possible?
Yes.
Someone with the power can do positive things in the world. Someone with the power can do negative things in the world, which is happening, isn't it? We can't deny that, which is happening. Maybe you and me don't think of it. You and me just go to office, do the work, get the salary, come back. Go to office, do the work, get the salary, come back. However, it is project management is not just going to office doing the job. It's beyond that. You are doing something, it's going to change the world, change the society. If that is the case, with the power comes responsibility. Now let's look at the ethical behavior. When I say ethical behavior, PMI is pretty clear that when you are a professional, you should have certain responsibility over your decisions and duty what you take. You own your decisions. Pretty important. You own your decisions. In many questions, the PMI will check how you own your responsibility in decision making, because many think that if something which comes to me, I will escalate it, I will pass it, I will delegate it. It's excellent, you should do that, I'm not denying that. But if it is your decision in your perspective, in your circle, will you take responsibility to solve that? Will you take a decision out of it, or you just push it out? Unfortunately, I see many engineers or many junior managers, when a situation happens, when a problem happens, it's so much bad to see that they don't want to be part of a solution. They just push it out and want to run away from there. Is it good or bad? Yeah, it's bad for the society, good for them. They can push it out by 4 o'clock in the evening and go home. No, Shri, I don't know this. You have to ask John. You should ask Dave. I was not part of it. When the situation was happening, I was on a holiday. How many times we hear this story? No, that's not the project manager. That doesn't mean you put everything on your shoulder. You will be careful enough on what you're doing. You'll be fair on your thought process. You look for fairness. That is, you take decisions impartially, nothing biased. No bias. This is because X company I'm doing it. I like Julie because of what I'm working with Julie. No, no, not that kind of favoritism. Not because I like someone. It's about the duty, what you want to do. You take you take that as a pride. You want to do it, right? If I go and explain this to a Japanese person, a person look at me, come on, Shay, this is a part of our culture. So you mean other culture don't have it? Every culture has it. Unfortunately, somewhere we are slowly losing it over a period of time. Now, PMI is very clear for last of 40 years. In fact, from 1969, they're talking about it. In the last 40 years in PMP exam, they're very clear that they look for professionals who take responsibility on the decision, who respect first themselves. You respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, who else will respect you? Respect yourself and also respect others. Pretty important. You look for the fairness, unbiased decision making. And finally, they look also for the honesty, which means not cutting the corners. Of course, this we discussed in the part of class, but why I want to bring this point here is when you read a question, just forget the question for a while. When you work as a manager anywhere in the world, if you can take this PMI ethics seriously, I will tell you, you become the most powerful person in the organization. Let's now forget about the philosophy stuff. Let's go to the exam part. In exam part, in many questions, implicitly, there will be a small hint about these four items. If you are careful and a good reader of the question, you will find it. What this question is looking from me. Is this question looking for a fair decision? Is this question looking for responsibility from my side? If you understand, you will solve the question in a better way. And also, in question answer solving, there is something called elimination technique. Do anyone remember elimination technique?
Yes, removing
Yes.
incorrect answers.
Removing incorrect answers. Well said. How do we decide that is an incorrect answer? How do we say as a brain incorrect? Something logically wrong. Can we say like that?
Maybe not in context to what is asked.
Very good, very good. Not in context, logically wrong. Do you think some unethical words also can be there in those answers?
Yes, distraction.
Yeah. See, what may be unethical words? Maybe I'm favoring one particular vendor in my answer. That's unethical. Maybe I'm throwing my responsibility on someone else. Unethical. Maybe I'm not respecting my people around me. Unethical. I'm cutting the corners. Unethical. If I know these each words carefully towards my project management knowledge, I can eliminate many wrong answers. If at all you are struggling in the main exam, if you're struggling in the main exam, I will tell you, Just close yourself for a few seconds, close your eyes and think of this is 4 ethical behavior. And then start looking at the question. I'm sure you will find the right answer. This is one of the trick to solve the question is reading PMI ethics carefully. I'll repeat again. This is not a usual university or a school college exam. This is an exam coming from the one of the top most professional institute in the world. And this is coming from a US study curriculum model, which means every question will check in detail how you are, not a top level, surface level. They talk very detailed. So when you read a question where you're careful on these words, high chances you'll solve it. But why people are struggling in the exam is in many corporate, in many personal life, these words are overlooked. See what you mean by overlooked? People don't take it seriously. People feel that somehow let me pass this system. Somehow the project will be successful. Somehow I'll clear PMP. Somehow I'll get a salary. Somehow I'll get a growth. This attitude of a somehow will make it happen will not work. We have to go detail. PMI Institute is not only for America, they are for 200 plus countries. They took some essence from Japan, some essence from India, some from South Africa, some from China, some from America. They take essence of every area. So you cannot tell this is only for America. It's for every country in the world. So when you read a question, when you read a subject, read with this mindset, it will work for you. Repeating again, power comes with responsibility. You have to be very careful when you answer your questions. Yep. All right. That helps to some of you who don't know the PMI ethics already. If you know already, hope that connects with you. Isn't
Yes.
it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Sunil is asking me the question. Sunil, why this question came up for you?
So while attempting the mock tests, I'm consuming too much time on the formula-based
Ah,
questions,
ah,
and so I was preparing for 4 5 questions. That is not an issue, but recently I
mm,
heard that they are not giving 5 questions or 4 5 questions, only one or two, and that for those also
mm,
we don't need calculator. So just wanted to confirm, is it true,
mm, mm.
or
Okay.
they may again come with 4 5 or maybe 10 questions? I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Sunil, which batch you started your preparation? Just for understanding.
2023.
23 you started, 2024. Okay. For last 4 years, PMI has reduced mathematical questions. When I say reduced, once upon a time, it used to be 15 questions or 20 questions. Then they reduced to 3, 4 questions in 2021. 2022, 23, they reduced further down. And now they have one question mathematical that also will come from PERT calculation, PERT, Program Evaluation Review Technique. Questions will come.
Uh,
You would have learned in the class called optimistic pessimistic calculation.
yeah, yeah.
That is one area you will see a question. Sometimes they
Mm,
give burn down, burn up chart numbers and make you to interpret, not calculate, interpret.
okay.
They also give a question for CPI, SPI. Are you aware of CPI, SPI?
Yes, yes.
Ah, very good. So if you're aware of CPI, SPI numbers, they'll give those numbers and look at your
Mm,
interpretation of there they stop.
oh,
There is no
okay.
calculation detail. But in
Mm-hmm,
ShriLearning, we don't remove that questions. We have those questions in question
mm-hmm,
paper.
mm-hmm,
The reason is, if I ask someone to read CPI, SPI, I don't think they will learn what is CPI, SPI. When you make them to
mm,
calculate CPI, SPI, that stays with them. So this is the
yeah.
reason we still have questions in our question paper to CPI, SPI. So answering your question back
All right.
here, you may get 1 or 2 calculation, and very
Mm-hmm.
rarely you get a CPI calculation, but still it is good to learn.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure. Thank you.
very good.
Thank you.
Good then. Good then. Let's get inside. Now, considering the time running up, let's get to the question paper. I have to bring the question. Where is my question paper? Boo, 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 boo. Sunday prayer. So people watching from YouTube, watching from LinkedIn, I would expect you to give your answers in the chat box in your system. And people watching here, now read this question carefully and choose the answer, give it in the chat box. Take at least a minute of time to read the question. If you read the question, you can start giving your answers. You have to choose one answer. Let's look at the answers. Okay, let's look at the answers now. I'm seeing alphabet starting with a D. I can also see C's answer. A is also an answer. Except alphabet B, I have three answers: A, C, and D. Okay. Okay, let's go by the question now. First, let's ask this question, understanding. What is the key term should be observed in this question? What is the key term here?
Complex issue with the prototype in development.
Brainstorming.
Complex issue with the prototype. Okay, there is a brainstorming. Okay.
And it's in development state.
Project team. The question is
Okay, project team. Okay. So what is the last line expecting in this question?
feed
How
the
should...
team decide.
Okay, when we say team, can I say it can include the core engineers working on that? Can I include somebody called project lead? Can I
Yes.
include somebody called project manager? Can I include somebody called architect? Could be, right? Maybe, right? They could be part of this team. The managers can be there, leads can be there, core engineers can be there, architect can be there. If you're sitting in some other team, they call even scrum master will be there. Somebody called product owner or customer representative will be there. A bunch of people are there. When you use the word a team, the people who are directly involved, some could be a bit indirectly involved also. They'll be part of it. Team doesn't mean only the 4 or 5 people who are working on it directly, right? You could have more people who take decisions also. They can be there. Now, the question is, the project team is brainstorming a complex issue with the prototype in development. Is it a past tense or a present tense?
It is
Present
present
continuous.
Present, right? It is
Present tense.
happening, right? It's happening.
Present continuous, you can say.
Right. They have consulted numerous experts. Many times this is important. Numerous experts
Yes.
in the field and together have narrowed down the choice of possible 2 actions. Now they came to 2 actions. How should the team decide which action to take? Out of this 2, they have 1, they have 2. Which one to go for it? Now, I think the point starts here, right? Action to 2. From here, they're asking for what to do next. Now, let's use some techniques here to move it out. What can go away here? Which answer doesn't make sense at all? No logical connection.
B.
B, right? Doesn't make logical, right? They say choose by lower cost. But again, they say 2 possible choices. Why cost don't play a big role when you choose 2 choices?
Quality plays a role.
Quality? Okay. Okay, I respect your thoughts. I respect your thoughts. Okay. Because I believe you got the question, right? The question is actually the question starts here. Actually, the question starts here. Of course, they given a lot of information. Your question actually is here. They have 2 actions, action A, action B. In this, which action to choose? That's the question. How are you going to choose it? The question is how. What method are you going to use? And I'm hearing people say that lower cost is not a good. That's a good, respectful thought. Okay. Then one is a poorest answer we pulled out. Then what is the topmost answer? Which some of you think, oh, that's the best one, man, because I have 2 choices. Which one?
I feel D is the answer.
D is answer.
Yeah.
I feel C is the answer, Shri.
C is okay. Let's go one by one justification. Okay, let me do this way. I have three answers. I will listen to one by one. Maybe I'll start with someone who said A. Mahesh or who is it? Yeah, Mahesh. Mahesh, I'm seeing you given A.
Yeah, because see, in this, okay, first I had given A and D, then on more thoughtful thoughts, I think the A, because he wants the project like empowerment, right? How the team decides. So
Uh,
empowering the team will lead to the decision making rather than, and I believe the project plan would have been already reviewed. In the brain, the team is doing the brainstorming. So
uh,
in the entire process, in the question part, in the actions to do, they
uh.
must have deliberated all the project plans, pro and cons, and they must have come to two options, one and two. Now it's
Mhm.
the final decision, empowerment of the team lead to choose one of them. So that's how I reached the conclusion of A.
Empowering is a nice terminology which says that a team knows their potential. Team behaves autonomy. That's what you want to say, right? You see a team with autonomy of making decisions. Team knows what to do. But
Yes.
in this question, by any chance, do we see this team is losing autonomy? Because question I'm asking is the project team is a brainstorming. I feel they already empowered on what they want to do. Then why I have to say which is already happening, I'm saying that again to them. Do you think that will give an answer to choose one or two? I, I'm
No,
just a
because
question.
yeah,
A question.
that's a valid point. But I had A and D in mind, and I disqualified D because the
Uh-huh.
team is already brainstorming, and they would have already reviewed the project plan in context of one
Okay.
and two, and it's only a matter of taking the decision. So
Hmm.
somebody
Hmm.
will raise the hand, team it, and say yes, I take the
Okay.
decision, and I'm
Okay.
responsible for it, and I go
Okay.
with A.
Okay. Taking decision. That's what you thought.
Yeah.
Okay. I respect your thought. I'll keep it as it is. I move further down. Before I move further down, I'm getting another answer B. iPhone. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. It says iPhone. Why you thought B is a good answer for you?
Vipin this side. Actually, because in the question they already said the team has already brainstormed and they took a expert opinion,
Ah.
and they now reached to two options.
Ah.
So I think there is only now they already worked as a team already. They are basically use all the technique, all the
Hmm.
expert opinion, and finally out of two. So I think the cost factor now is
Plays a
only
role.
out. Yeah, that's my understanding.
Lower cost. But lower cost alone is a good decision for a team. See, I want
Actually,
to.
lower cost may not be good decision if they have not done all the actions which they already done. Like they have basically
Hmm.
brainstormed. They have
Hmm.
basically they say there are two possible options because they
Hmm.
already decided both are possible.
Hmm. Okay. So you feel because of a cost, I will go for it. Okay. Then I leave it here.
Yes.
I got second choice here. One is taking decision by the team. Other one is cost. Let's go to C here. I'm reading from the bottom. I'm seeing Anisha. Anisha, you say C or D. You want to say something for C?
Yeah, so what I learned, C is the technique when you collect the feedbacks from experts and then you take the decision, so
Uh,
which they have already done, and now probably they need to take decision on it by discussing within the team or stakeholders or
okay.
so
Okay.
that is my understanding. C has more probability, and why D is to go and review project plan that who is responsible for that particular work and review that person. For example, if it's an engineer or if it's their work or something, and get feedback from them and then decide further. Because as a project manager, you don't have the knowledge of technical every time. So that is what
Okay.
I did in my company.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but as you
So
said,
now,
yeah.
now putting a cross question to you, uh,
Mm-hmm.
who is being targeted in this question? Who is a target point in this question? Is it a
Project
manager or the team?
Team.
project team.
So as a team, what you should do, that's a target, isn't it? So
Yes.
I'm not going to see only from the manager perspective. But I respect your
Mm-hmm.
thought. Manager
Okay.
perspective needed in some places, but here it is not
Mm-hmm.
only manager. Manager
So then
along
it
with
is
the team.
C. So then it should be C.
Okay, what will be inside the management plan? I'll not with you, Anisha. I'll come back to you. Thanks for the points. I'll go a little more up. I have to see somebody D. Jagat Sri. I
Yes,
see an
Sri.
answer D.
Yeah,
Good. Seeing you after a long time, huh? How things going on?
going well, Sri.
Good, very good.
Thank you.
So why you thought D is a good answer for you?
Project management plan, basically, it has a lot of components, right from starting from the scope until risks, everything is covered, right? What I typically see here is an uncertainty. Even though it's a complex issue, they have certain uncertainties, and the expert team narrowed down to two possible action. However, we are looking for the decision to take which action, right? So my opinion was these plans would give us a procedure or how to deal with the uncertainties. That's one of the thought process. The other thought process, the second one is the bias from the numerous experts. Expert judgment, basically, which is happens from SMEs, could to verify if it is biased in relation to my project management plan, which has the several components, including scope and requirements.
So when you say project management plan, this is sometimes called as a mother document. When it's a project management plan, it will have a plan like starts with a scope plan. It talks
schedule,
about schedule, right?
cost,
And you will have cost. In fact, you have for everything, isn't it? You will have
quality,
even quality, and you have for risk.
requirements,
Then you have for resources. So you
resources.
have plan for everything. So now when I say review it, in order to make a decision whether to go for one or two, I'm diverting my team to go back and review it. What should I expect my team to understand from this plans? What should be their intake from this plan? Will it be more?
Phase, At the executing phase, they can check it, not really to go on scope and see. When you
Right now.
actually track the project, and when already task has been given to everybody, and who is responsible, most important person maybe or the head of that. So that is the idea. Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah, I actually was there in the point which you're talking about, Sri. But okay, the ideology which would drive me there, the two possible actions, right? That could be an action which is relating to my scope, or it could be an action that could be relating to my schedule, right? So the project management plan has the components, the below components which you said, referring to one of the components, for example, a scope management plan, would give me a better process. That's what my
I see your
behind
point. I see your point. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks, Jayesh, for sharing that. We'll listen to Supriya, then we'll go for more details. Yes, Supriya, go ahead.
Yes, so I would add more points to what just now we had heard for D option, because Delphi technique here won't be, I think it won't be useful because we have already consulted numerous experts. Delphi technique is when we will go to the experts, we'll get their feedback, but here we have already consulted them. That's why that would be a good option. But reviewing the project management plan will help the team members to understand what will be the impact on the scope baseline, cost baseline, and schedule baseline. If we based on this, we can choose the action.
That's a good point. That's a good point there. But what is Delphi technique as per your understanding? Delphi, what we do there?
So Delphi technique is for gathering expert opinions and achieving consensus on a complex anonymity.
Okay. I see your point. All right, good. Thanks.
Shri, sorry, maybe of the Supriya's point, I just thought maybe it's my thought process. See, the question it is saying that project team is brainstorming a complex issue with the prototype and development, which means they are in agile mode, right? So in agile mode, project management plan reviewing, it's like the least one because they don't do much of planning. And one more thing, it's my thought process again is like it is already happened. If it is a traditional, if it is a risk or something, then we may go and check the mitigation response plan or mitigation plan what we had already done. But here it is issue. It has already happened.
Okay.
So it is my thought process.
That's a good thought. That's a good thought. I really appreciate it. Now let me put thanks, Sant Lakshmi. Now I like the point where Sandra is pointing out. Is she says it's a complex issue, and we are using a prototype development model, which means it could even be maybe it could be like this, right? We know this is Stacy graph. What Stacy graph says that there is something called requirement uncertainty, which means we don't know what to do. And when we don't know what to do, we also have technology uncertainty, which is also called as how to do, isn't it? These two factors are there, which means we are somewhere here. When we are somewhere here and this place is going to be complex or complicated, which means I have to do a prototype, which means I show a demonstration. I even sometimes call as a MVP if I want it. Then I want to show to them and people can research on it and give more ideas on it. I think Santalakshmi is pointing out this one. Is it right, Santalakshmi?
Yes, Shri.
Okay, okay.
It came
Okay,
to my
because
mind when I read that.
So because of this, you don't want to say that my project will fall in this space, which is called simple,
Yes.
which is more of a plan-driven approach. And you want to straight away strike out, no, guys, this will not happen because there is no plan here.
I
Is
mean,
this
that is
okay?
what I thought, and I have
Okay.
selected C, Shri, but
Okay.
I mean, I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I get your points. Get your points. I'm trying to see different points from people here.
Yes.
Let's see what the PMI want from you in this question paper. In this question, what is PMI looking from you is you being a project manager and with the team members, what you do. Now, PMI is in this question, it's not targeting only the manager. They're saying that what should the team decide? So it's a collection of people. So collection of people who follow the PMI model of working. What is PMI model of working? One is a collective decision making. At the same time, checking which is the best for the project. We know that 25% of the projects, average number, which is very successful projects, nearly 75% of projects are failing. The failing reason could be many reasons. One of the reason is could be a gap in communication or a clarity in understanding or non-technical details not solved properly. Many reasons are there. Now, in this question, what they're trying to say. Now, let me clear it out again, start from the beginning. So there is a complex situation, it's going on. They have consulted numerous experts in the field under together. They consulted, okay, they spoke to them. They consulted and spoke to them, numerous experts. And then they narrow down the choice of possible actions to two. So there is an action A, there is an action B. Now, since it's a complex in nature, and these people may not have a knowledge, that's the reason they're going for numerous experts. Still, they came to A and B. Now, when we listen, how should the team choose? The question is, how do you choose? When I say how do you choose, if somebody says you should have a empowered, given autonomy, the answer will go away because already they have an autonomy. Because that's the reason they're here. I don't think somebody is forcing them. They know what to do, so it goes out straight away. And when you see cost, choose based on cost. Lower cost looks good, but lower cost alone will not be an option most of the time because they look for the cost plus somebody rightly said a few minutes back, quality also matters. You look for the quality and this grade and how does it meet the standards. So B also will have a tough chance to go in. So which means you have a competition between C and D. The competition is between these two. Before I answer this, first PMI will expect you, are you really aware of what is Delphi technique? They look for you. Then they look for, are you aware of what is project management plan? So now in this two, which will be the close answer which my team can use to get an answer out of it? Which means team should decide which action to take, which means can this be action A, action B? Now, Santa Lakshmi was pointing out, hey, this looks a complex nature project and they're going with a prototype in development. If this is a case, will you have elaborate plan in place already? Will you have elaborate plan in place already? Now, let me ask this question to the team here. Do you think so when you are in a complex issue and a prototype is going on, do you think we'll have elaborate plan? It can be yes or it can be no. So what is your thought?
More
Elaborate
aware of the
plan will not be there,
what
but
and how.
yeah.
It could
But
be also somebody can challenge, Sri, I will have a plan. It's a complex issue. Doesn't mean the whole project is in a problem. Maybe in a project, a portion is in problem,
correct.
isn't it? I can argue in that way also. But what PMI wants from you, let me show the answer now. Now, some of you would already guess this answer. Now, let's look at the answer. The answer goes with the C. Now, this team is a cohesive and is doing the right things to solve the problem already. They have already consulted the experts as this is what the Delphi technique calls for. So there is a reason to think they can continue to employ this anonymous decision-making method of consulting experts and arriving at a course of action based on their advice. But somebody can challenge now. Man, already we consulted. We came with two answers. What is stopping you to choose A or B? Why I should go further down to continue with a Delphi technique? Of course, in these answers, if one of the answers says that the team can do further prototyping on it, the team can do further proof of concept on the research on it, they can solve it, maybe could be a better answer. But if we don't see such a close answer where team is taking any action on the issue itself, they're not doing anything. In the answers, I don't see anything they involve directly. One, they go for lower cost. One, you're talking about empowering, that is the behavior. One, we are talking review the plan. These all not directly on action on the particular problem statement. However, Delphi technique could be one of the action in this place where you will continue further discussion to solve it. Now,
But
some of you maybe. Mhm.
sorry, I'm interrupting. But Shri, Delphi technique means that is I mean, brainstorming is a group discussion.
We will see that.
And it
We will see that.
involves all the subject matter experts, everybody into the focused group discussion. But Delphi technique is a one step above on the brainstorming, where it's a structured approach and they will take a decision, right? I mean, is that understanding correct or it is not?
Yeah. You're right. That's why I'm bringing some more content on the screen. If you see that, what is Delphi technique? You're right on the point. So Delphi technique is a forecasting process framework. It's a framework based on results of multiple rounds. You see that? Multiple rounds of a questionnaire is sent to the panel of experts. So until they come to a final conclusion, they can go for a multiple rounds of discussion. So you choose a facilitator and identify your experts in the field, define the problem statement, and then send questionnaires and do multiple rounds of action. Until you get what you want, you can go with Delphi technique. It's one of the way. But doesn't mean even for this answer or question, you should further go with the Delphi. Without Delphi also, this team could have found a solution. But in the answers, we don't have anything like they are finding a solution. Whereas this one answer as an option where I can use one of this approach to go for one more round of discussion or a couple of more rounds of discussion where I can come to the conclusion. Now, if I park that question overall, what PMI want from you in this question is, first, are we aware of Delphi technique? Have we practiced in our job? If I have not practiced in my job, do I know the steps to follow in this Delphi technique? And how many rounds or how many levels Delphi can go? Am I aware of it? And they're looking for this awareness of this tool and technique. And this could be a question to make us to understand this technique can be utilized by someone in project management level or even at a team level. That's what they're expecting from you. People who thought a C as answer, do you think this is what you thought in your mind?
Yes, Shri.
Okay. Now, let's see where we can use a Delphi technique. Take a look. Let know which area you have observed Delphi technique around your corporate or somewhere. There are a few places explained here. So they're talking about, let's talk about risk identification. Why I should use Delphi technique in risk identification? When I say risk identification, you bring your risk items, right? We say that this is called risk register. Okay. In risk register, we're telling that this is a risk. Okay. And we write down the risk here. Now, why should I use a Delphi technique here? Why? I'm bringing another risk 2, risk 3, and I'm telling this is a high risk, this is a low risk, this is a moderate risk. How could a Delphi technique help in the risk identification?
Setting a priority after
Priority. Mm-hmm. Do anyone remember in our class we learned how a risk register is created? One of the technique, in fact, we have many techniques. We use a SWOT analysis. You heard about SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. One other technique we learned called a nominal group technique. In that list, there are many techniques, including Monte Carlo analysis, if somebody remember it. On
Yes.
top of that, we also have this technique called as Delphi technique, which means in risk identification, I can bring the experts in that industry who can give me suggestions or opinions about the risk which can happen in this project or a product. For example, if I am in oil and gas industry, in oil and gas industry, as a project manager, I can think some level. I'm not denying that. I too have knowledge. My team also has knowledge. However, there is a high possibility I can invite an expert, a risk management expert in oil and gas field. And this person can list down technical risk, managerial risk, external risk, political risk. Do you think so? Is it possible? So I
Yes.
can start listing down this risk register with all these experts in the field. So in a risk identification, I can use a Delphi. I can even go multiple rounds, rightly somebody said about prioritization, telling that this is high, this is low, this is medium. I know that's a risk, but is it a high or medium? How do I know that? I don't know that it's a high or medium. So I can invite an expert who can tell that, hey, this risk, there is a high probability of happening. If it has happened, what kind of impact it can bring in a project? Now I can question the expert, what do you mean by high probability? Can you justify it? So the expert will tell, okay, let me come with the data. And that's called a quantitative analysis. The expert will tell every time when it rains heavily, we have this kind of problems. But how long it will rain? The probability is 80% chance of a heavy rain. When 80% chance of heavy rain, the impact is this. So I'm bringing a person who knows the knowledge with the data, who can tell that that risk is a high risk and that could happen in a project. Now, what I'm saying is one example. So Delphi technique, I can invite experts in many places, but expert doesn't come free. When I go to vendor management or a cost management, we talk about how much of money or time I can spend with an expert because experts come with the cost, isn't it? So I have to watch out how many times I can use it. But Delphi is a very nice technique. I'll always use it in my project. Yes, you can, but your budget should allocate. The budget should have the space. So we'll watch out all these parameters, but that's not the question. The question is, are you aware of what is Delphi technique? And this Delphi technique comes from 1940, 1950 as a statement. But how much I'm aware of it? But is it only for a plan-driven project, not for Agile? Any project, any place you can use the Delphi technique. But do I know how to use it? Now, question is, as a project manager, do I know how to facilitate it? Do I know how to bring the people together and get an answer out of it? So those kind of questions you can expect in exam. All right. Was it helpful? Did you learn something about Delphi?
Yes, sure.
Uh-huh. All right. Okay.
Actually, I have a little doubt here in this
Mhm.
Delphi technique. So one of the key characteristic of this Delphi technique is to be anonymous, right?
Mhm.
So if we are with the same group of experts, if 2 or 3 experts have already done the estimation or decision making, again we are going now we like to apply Delphi technique, and those experts again are going to decide how it will not remain anonymous, so we know that who is going who is deciding.
Why it should go anonymous? Any thoughts on that? Why anonymous?
So that we don't so that we can maybe hide so that team doesn't indulge in any conflict.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, identification, you said that why we should uh, Delphi technique in risk identification. So my understanding is that why we should do it, because there can be some decisions or some
Biased. Hmm.
yes, correct. So somebody who is very junior, he might have a very high value input, but due to his manager's influence, he will not do it. He will not say it. So that is where Delphi technique will help, because it will be anonymous, and that's where it will give the value. So that this was my understanding.
Yeah, you're right. You're
So
right. Hmm.
so here again in this question, or uh, in other scenarios also, so anonymous, keeping it anonymous is the most important point here. So, or is it something that we can uh, get the names also, who is giving
No,
what
no.
decision?
When you're right the point, when the experts list, a team list is very small, of course, anonymous is to be very tough to handle. But the reason for anonymous is, or how it works is, the facilitator will consolidate the idea discussed in the room and give a summary of what we thought as an experts. If three people in my room, and I will keep it anonymous and say that as an expert team, we are thinking option A is the best choice for this reason. Option B cannot be chosen for this reason. Now there will be a question again, do everyone okay or fine with this option A choosing for this reason? Or do you need a further discussion? After listening for a while, when a summary is presented by a facilitator, and a couple of members in the team says that I don't think we are still happy with the decision of A. I would need more rounds of discussion. That could be an ask. So the reason to keep anonymous is, one is not to go with the biased or not go with one-sided. Rather, they put the things together and the facilitator will present as a summary and let the people listen and come back. When I say summary, we're very careful on the word summary. Why we go for this choice? Not because John said, not because Dave said. We will pick up what are the key things to choose option A, and the summary will be presented by facilitator. The facilitator may know some names, may not know, but the idea is to give the summary only. From the summary, team can interpret. By this, we don't go biased thought process. We focus on the issue, not on the people. That's the reason they brought it. But as you rightly said, if the team shrinks, yeah, it's obviously visible. You can't hide furthermore. If it's a bigger group, yeah, that's be much helpful there. Yeah, that's a good point. Good. Thanks for the points. Jagat, you were saying something there. I want to understand that. What do you mean by that?
In other words, being a good facilitator. I mean, the project manager being a good facilitator to get the team on one decision. That's what I meant there. So,
okay, sounds good. Sounds good. How is your knowledge? How is your energy level? Shall we answer one more question?
Yes, Shri.
One more question. Okay. All right. Let me bring one more question. Let's see if you can answer. I have a question for you. This time you have to choose two answers. Read the question carefully. You have to choose two answers. You have to choose two answers. Let me look out for answers in YouTube also. Meantime, I'm seeing answer coming up here. Well, this is multiple choices with tricky. Mhm. All right, I'm seeing the alphabets coming with B and C. Even in YouTube, I'm seeing Ananya, inspire yourself. Let's give you seconds. Rest of them answer. I believe most of you answered. Whenever this kind of two answers comes, people get a bit tricky. Oh man, which one to choose? At least I choose the first answer. The second answer is what takes time, which one to go. In the exam, chances are, main exam, they may give this two things by words or by number, but sure they'll give that you have to choose two answers. And in main exam, you may see check boxes. Checkbox, that's also an indication that you have to choose answer. If not, usually imagine there's only four choices, they'll give us a radio button. So a radio button makes you to clear that you have to choose one of it. Yeah, if it is check boxes, you know that more than one answer to be chosen. Some of the indication. At times, I hear that in Pearson, when you choose one answer and you click a next button, if you don't choose two answers, it will stop you, saying that you have to choose one answer. However, there are scenarios also I heard that if you choose one answer and you didn't choose a second answer, you didn't do that at all, still it allows you to go further. It is also a decision that it is permitting you that it's your choice. You don't want to choose a second answer, it's your choice. So they can't force you. So you have to be careful in the main exam. Read the choices carefully and answer this properly. Let's come back to the question itself. First, let's understand the question. What is the key word in this question to be observed? Key terms.
Initiated.
What should I understand from this word initiated?
Started.
Okay, so the project is started. Okay, then the project team is ready to get the work done.
Contracts stuck in procurement.
The vendor, all vendor contracts are stuck in. Okay, stuck is the word, right? Stuck. Contracts are stuck. Okay, in a procurement. Is it good or bad when the contracts are stuck? Is it something a showstopper or what kind of thing?
Yes,
Intensity.
it is
What is the
bad.
intensity of the problem?
Yeah, it's a big problem.
Okay.
The big
See,
one.
when you read the question, you read first who is being targeted in the question. What is the second one you do?
Project manager.
Tense.
Tense of the
Tense.
question.
Hence,
Then what do you read?
Intensity.
Intensity of the problem.
Intensity of the problem. How much difficult the problem is. Fourth one is
La,
last line.
last line of the question. And fifth question is
elimination.
elimination technique. What is sixth one?
Sixth sense.
Sixth sense.
Okay, this is but see, I can use it in the first place itself, man. Why should I come all this way? Maybe this will help you to give some thought process. Then comes sixth sense. Okay. Okay, let's come back here. So now we know the project has been initiated and which is currently happening. All vendors' contracts are stuck. So can I say this intensity is showstopper or it is okay? What is your thought?
Yeah, showstopper.
Showstopper. You can't skip the work.
Okay. Okay, showstopper. Then which two actions, again two actions, should the project manager take? Now, who is targeted here? Project, project team, project manager.
Project manager.
Project manager.
Manager is stuck. So there is going to be decision making you have to do. You have to do a decision making. Now, before I go further down, I'll ask one more time. Is there any other keyword? We have to be very careful on this question. Any other keyword?
Should.
No.
No? Okay. By any chance, do anyone feel the word all?
No, all there. Okay.
All.
All
All.
means all.
Okay. Okay. Be very careful in main exam. Whenever you see the word all, read it twice. Understand what they mean. It could be beneficial or it could be a problem. All is not a good word in project management. Sometimes it will be good, many times it will be wrong. You have to be very careful. Not only in this question paper, even in a real life, in project, somebody in an email, they use the word all. You have to be a bit careful whom they are pointing. You have to be very specific, very clear. When they say all vendors, now all vendors is not a happy scenario. So all is a keyword here. Watch out. Okay, now let's go to the answers. Which one answer doesn't make sense? No logic at all, or some ethical problem?
Okay.
E.
D. E.
E.
Is okay. Pay vendors from the project contingency budget. What's the problem here?
Without understanding the impact, we should not pay the vendors
Uh-huh.
directly. Or we should not exhaust the contingency budget, because contingency budget is for the specific identified risk. Is reserved for the specific identified risk.
Okay. Okay. What if already we thought contractor not signing is a risk and you have that in the contingency budget? No, I'm just questioning. I may be wrong also, just questioning. Contingency budget reserve is reserve, right? Reserve for some
Yes.
uncertain situation. Do you think it's an uncertain situation? But
Yes.
but putting a contingency budget, will it solve the problem?
Mm.
Yes, because we don't know whether only the related, because of payment only it is stuck, that is not given.
We don't know. We don't
Yes.
know, right? We don't know. So pay vendors. I don't think we are at the stage of payment. Are we at the stage of payment now?
We have not even started the work. No.
Yeah.
Okay, but this question is pretty vague, isn't it?
Yes.
Doesn't give clarity. This is how this guy is. Sometimes you get an office email like this, right? A vague email. No
Yes.
head and no tail, a email will come. And you'll be like, what the hell this guy is saying, man? So such a kind of email, okay? Pay vendors from the budget. It looks nice, you pay something, but is it the problem here? The project has been initiated. The project team is ready to get to work, ready to get to work. Now, all their vendors' contracts are stuck in procurement. What does it mean, stuck? Stuck means is it approved, unapproved, or after approval, payment is pending? What's the problem here? What is your assumption? What pops up in your mind?
They're not complete.
They're not complete, which means a vendor choosing process not complete. Can we say like that?
Yeah, selection process is not completed.
Selection process. Is this assumption right with most of you in this room? The vendor onboarding is not properly done. Can we use a term like that? Onboarding is not properly done. Maybe a vendor to supply steel and cements, a vendor to supply an artificial intelligence tool for a software company, a vendor to supply human resource for the project. Something, right? So I don't think I gone up to the payment level. I'm even before that. That's the way I'm assuming here.
I believe it is more signature. I mean, approvals, I would say, because
Approval
they are
pending.
stuck in procurement. So when we have so many documents that have to be approved by so many people before doing
Bureaucrats process.
procurement.
Bureaucracy
Yeah.
stops, right? That's what you want to
Yeah.
say. Okay, so shall we strike out this pay vendor goes out?
Yes.
If most of you agree. Okay, pay vendor goes out. Now comes the next tough choice. Which one is the next illogical? Which
D, I
one?
guess.
Did you say D? D for Denmark?
Yes.
Okay. Create contracts to be authorized by the project. Why this goes out?
Because contracts are already created and the team is
Hmm.
already getting to start to work. So we are not in
Okay.
the creation contracts phase, or we are not in the plan procurement
Okay,
plan.
this is not an ask here. The ask is already contract is there, how to solve that problem. Take
Right.
two actions, what should manager take here? We have to solve the existing contract problem, not a new contract. Okay, so D goes out. By this way, at least we are close to the answer in that case. So A, B, and C. If you even eliminate one answer, you got it. But that's
Yes.
a tough part. Okay, now I'm seeing many words here. I'm seeing the word risk. I'm seeing the word issue. I'm seeing the word escalation, the authorization, escalate the issues, escalate. Okay, escalate is here. Okay, now before you jump to the answers, this is a situation. Is it a risk or an issue?
It is an issue because this is an unidentified risk.
It's an issue. What's the difference between issue and risk?
Risk is like we anticipate what will happen. Issues like which already happened, like it is in present tense. Risk is in anticipation in future tense.
Issue is past, happened. Risk is future. It may happen. Am I right on this?
Yes.
Issue is I hit my leg, I'm bleeding already. That's issue. I may hit, be careful. Yeah, that's a risk, right? Issue is happened. It's always negative. Risk is could be positive or it can be negative. Is it possible? Yeah, risk could be positive also, negative also. Both are possible, but issue is always negative. Something has gone wrong in the project, you have to right away fix it. Okay, let's come back to the point now. Now let's go with the debate. I'm having different answers here. Whose answer I'm seeing in the bottom? I'm seeing starting with Anisha, Supriya. Okay, Anisha, I'm seeing your answer. You are given C, B, also A. Which one I have to go?
So it should be B, or
Uh,
right now it is more clear for me, risk and issue. Yeah, risk is
hmm.
the futurist thing which we expect, so probably B and C.
Why B and C?
Because as I said, those are stuck in the procurement. So there should be some approval or something which
Okay,
maybe
okay.
we need to contact a sponsor, or there's something. So we need to
Escalate.
escalate it. Yeah, because it's a
Hmm.
urgent thing, as project
Hmm.
is already initiated and team is ready to work, but
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm. So note the delay in the issue log. Okay.
Yes, because
Okay.
yeah.
Somebody who don't know, there is something called issue log in project management. In this issue log in a project, we have to write this issue happened on this morning. Who is the accountable person to take action? Who can be escalated? Some name will be there. Some date also will be there. I have to give the name of the person who have to solve the issue. I'll also give the date timeline. Like this, I keep recording the issues in my project. And this has been stored into something called lessons learned repository. Why they have to store in lessons learned repository? Why should I do this?
Because it can be repeat, or one
It
can
is
see that
used in
what
the
happened,
future.
and
Exactly.
yeah.
We go back and see what all happened. How can we improve our way of working going forward? Okay, I heard from Anisha that Anisha, you strike out A. You don't want A.
No,
Okay.
no,
All
because
right.
it's not a
Okay,
risk
good.
actually.
Okay. Okay. Then I'll park your answer. Thanks for the answer. Let's go furthermore. Oja Dubey, you have A and C. Why you thought A and C?
Yeah, so initially I thought it would be A, but now I'm clear that it would be B and C because the risk must already be captured.
Which means it's already happened. That's what you want to say.
Yes, yes.
So, do we have something called a risk log? Do we have such a wording called risk log in PMP?
Yeah,
No,
yes.
it is a
No,
risk register.
okay.
Risk register.
Risk register is the right terminology. When you read a question or answer, sometimes this is also another thing you have to watch out in a question paper. A risk log is not a terminology, rather they use a word risk register. That's a term. So the moment I read this, log is not the right wording. That also helped me to strike out. Right? Whereas a change log, issue log, change log, these are logs. But risk register is a right terminology. This is also goes by reading the books. When you read the book, you get the terminology. You don't need to memorize it, but at least you know that, oh, these guys are playing with me. These guys are giving me some made up words to confuse me. Now, why I'm taking time to explain a question? We took at least 15-20 minutes to talk about one question. The reason is, this is not the way you're going to answer the main exam. In the main exam, you will get a 60 seconds or 90 seconds to solve one question. You cannot solve like 20 minutes what we did. But if you practice a question in this way over a period of time, What will happen is the moment you see the question, your eyes will start reading the wordings. So initialized, which means started, initiated. I should be careful on the word all. Your eyes will read this. The manager is a targeted. Quickly read this. And you'll see the word, there is an imperfect word here. I'll strike it out. Paying vendor doesn't make sense. So you will start looking out and pushing out some illogical things, by which you come to a conclusion, maybe last two answers. From now, 10 seconds or 12 seconds or 30 seconds, you focus just calm to see what can be a best solution here. And that's where your sixth sense comes in. So the techniques, whatever given here, will try to clear off the blockers, the cloudy, misty area, and focus on the main area. That's why we are taking time to read it. If I practice a 10 questions question paper or a 40 questions question paper, I will take the questions, sit and analyze like this. It will take a lot of a patience, a lot of a pain, but the outcome will be really excellent. Rather, if I run through all the question, I don't think I will get this thought process. Okay, let's see the right answer. I know time is also running for
I
us.
want to ask, we have risk matrix in the PM.
Risk register.
But no risk matrices.
Risk matrix will come like this, which will talk about what is the probability and impact of a risk. That is a different category. I believe you are in the current batch. We will explain more when you go in the class. There is something matrix available, but not where we record our risk. We don't record the risk there. Matrix is something we create in the company. When I say something about 60% happening, that is a high risk in my company. If it is more than 40%, it's a medium risk in my company. I'll create a matrix for this in my company. It's a one-time creation. I'll create and keep it there, but not like every day, every time you update the risk. And when you do every time updation, that's called risk register, not a risk log. Okay, let's see the right answers here. Okay, the answers goes to the B and C. I see most of you chose those answers. Some of you were in the border of this place. The project manager should recognize the situation as an issue, okay, and log it in the issue log, because the issue is related to an organizational department. Escalation to the project sponsor is appropriate. So they say that you have to escalate, that's a keyword, and also you have to note down the issue. These are two keywords. This is not a risk. Why? It is an issue because the contract are not signed, and work needs to start, which means the situation has already happened. If the manager acts on the contract from within the project, this creates further risk. If the project manager acts on the contracts from within the project, this creates further risk. Always take steps within your authority and work on problem yourself before escalating. So if you look at here, they're saying that what you can do yourself, check that part. There are situations which you can't handle it, which means you should escalate it, which means it is a part of your risk management strategy that if something coming as a major risk, which I cannot handle in my purview, then I will escalate to the higher level. It could be program manager, portfolio manager, sponsor. If you are part of our classes, you would have learned there is positive risk, there is negative risk. In both the risk, we have a place called escalation. Do anyone remember that? There is escalation. If you don't remember it, there is escalation. Also, we have something called accept. We have accept. In between this only, you have something called avoid. Then what we have? Mitigate. Anything more you remember? Escalate, avoid, mitigate. What else?
Transfer, accept.
Transfer, right? You transfer the risk. Other side, it goes by, what do you do?
Exploit,
Exploit,
enhance, and share.
share. Some of us would have read it, some of us not read it. People new here, you will learn in the classes, but the message here is, so these are some of the risk mitigation or risk handling way. But before that, first I should know that this is a risk which is not in my control. Escalate the authorization of the contracts of project sponsor, because I cannot authorize some of them. I cannot involve into that. Maybe certain things I can avoid, but certain things I have to escalate it. If I don't know there is something called escalation exists, if I don't know such thing is available in project management, this question gets a tougher for me. So I have to read the chapters carefully, understand what does it mean. Then I think you'll start answering better. Okay, I know I said 1 hour, but it went more than 1 hour, 40 minutes. Hope that's a useful session. Let me see, what are the keywords you learned in the last 1.5 hours? What are the things you learned? Recall a couple of words.
Delphi technique.
Delphi technique.
Very good.
Ethics.
PMI ethics. What are the ethics? PMI ethics. Do anyone recall? Want to recall?
Responsibility, honesty, fairness, and respect.
Fantastic. Responsibility, respect. 2 R's will come. To remember it better, responsibility, respect. 2 R's will come. Then what you have? F, fairness, and H, honesty. If you can keep like, yeah, maybe R, something like that, it also helps you. But remember, in exam, this will highly help you. We learned something about risks and the issue. Issue is a present or past?
Present.
Present, okay. It's a past, we have to take action in the present. Is that right?
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
Issue is the past.
Risk is future.
Issue is past, but your action present. Morning, I go to office, they say that server is down. I think very common word in information technology. Server is down. Issue, server is down. You need action now. Now I have to do something. So mostly issue comes with a burning sensation. Now, something now, right? Future is a future, anticipation is a risk. A risk can turn into issue. A risk which you thought, Friday, I thought server will go down. That's a risk. I thought about it. And Monday morning, server was down. Is an issue. So your risk can turn into issue. These two are closely related terminology. In project management, you have to be very careful. What is it? On top of it, if I want a little more confusion to add, I will add a confusion called assumptions. When you do a project, we start with an assumption, the server will work properly. It's an assumption. And assumptions can go wrong, isn't it? And assumptions can go wrong. So you have to be careful on watching this. All right, that's what I have for today. And first, thanks for all joining for the Sunday prayers. People are getting for examination. Stay in touch. I ask you to send me your Excel sheet. When I say Excel sheet, the screenshot of what is your exam, score, and timeline. So people are getting close to the exam. Stay in touch with me. Next 10 days, we have to be in communication how we are preparing. And if you're very close to the exam, keep the last 3 days or 4 days out of from your work. Really, Shri, I can't take leave. Plan your days accordingly. Last 3 days, don't get into office work. You have invested $500, only money, plus $1,000 your time. Okay, $500 money and $1,000 your time. So $1,500 you're spending or $2,000 you're spending for this exam. Completely fine. Take 2 to 3 days of leave before the exam. You need a focused effort to clear the examination. Any doubts on the examination, feel free to directly contact me. My number is in the WhatsApp group. You will know that. Yeah. Now have a nice day. People have a session today. We will connect next 1 hour. We will talk more about subject today. Yeah. Thanks for being here. Catch you on next Sunday. See you and bye-bye.
Thank you, Shri.
Thank you.
Yeah.